Very interested in the quality of game we're going to be seeing from both sides to an extent, right? NRG, high expectations, want to see very much a dominant performance here. But what sort of resilience can BiliBili provide here? Is there something that they can show off here, be it individual, be it as a collective? That's where my curiosities lay. For now already, NRG, comfortable steps towards the site here, not meeting much resistance at all.
No, full 5v5 here after the spike is planted, so we'll wait for this flag to come through. Maybe try and find some value. They're going to be put on red alert, but actually NRG getting aggressive in. Victor will find one. Trade comes through from YZ though. Yosemite on the long way round back through spawn, Lauren.
If he gets the timing right, he could do some serious damage here. No one really watching this.
Did he make a step there?
He might have done, but I don't think they noticed it. He's going to reap the rewards already, making some real problems here. Down to a 3v3, but the time is starting to tick, and they gotta get a move on here. Som holding the line perfectly with Victor, and all those threats are unfounded as first is found for NRG.
Beautiful recovery for NRG. The flank only coming through to 1 kill. Unfortunately, I mean, initially a 3-man play back through the side towards Mound. Could have come to something, but straight away Ardis disengages, and you can see that's the green light for NRG to get aggressive, find this kill onto Rin, and continue to solidify this site hold. Here's whether or not that trend does continue towards the buy rounds, and BiliBili are happy to concede sites.
Yeah.
Maybe that just being a pistol round strat.
I also just want to see how they approach the economy management. All the other factors that we kind of not necessarily overlook, but something we expect from teams who make it to champs consistently, like NRG, right? We don't really look at them as a team to be as aware of the minutiae. We don't keep track of it because it's kind of expected. But for someone making that international debut here, we do have to keep track on how BiliBili approaches game.
And just coming back to what Jackson said in the interview as well, they're playing relatively with no, I don't want to say, you know, no fear, but almost as if they're here to learn and maybe take some risks. Whether or not they're able to tap into that aspect and really cause some damage, cause some problems for NRG. Som will be tested here, but that's a little Cobra round to start things off for Som with the Bulldog.
Farm it up, baby.
And that's a very quick lesson to learn.
Yes, it is. Keep an eye on the cam. Oh, it's beautiful stuff from him. Just cool as hell. Nice and comfy. That'll get you feeling out the game pretty early on. Sitting on 7-0. No stress so far. But this is the big round, right? This is the buy coming in for BiliBili. If they're going to make a bit of impact, if they're going to make a bit of a problem for NRG, this is the round to do it. And it's an aggressive start, and it's instantly decimated. Victor is looking nasty. They're starting to get more and more confident, feeling out the quality of opponent. And right now, they are absolutely diffing them.
Yeah, NRG not pulling any punches so far.
As they shouldn't.
Find themselves in a 5v3 here. Signs of things. Finesse might catch himself an engagement. Yosemite playing ahead of the wall here. Definitely has the weapon advantage, but actually slipping deeper. Does he hard clear Finesse here? Actually does, still gets the better of Finesse. I feel like he almost had the advantage there with Yosemite looking the other way.
Yeah, he did for a moment's time, but again, still looking towards that C site. Som just drifting in. Minimal resistance being shown. A little bit of pressure on the cross, but the spike is there.
Still favourable head count here for NRG. HP bar's not looking too healthy for BiliBili.
I'll find you.
Gonna fight back in here. Gonna have to find a kill fairly early on with NRG disengaging from sight. That's gonna seal the deal here. 10 HP. Som's even heard these steps retreating actually. Whether or not they're gonna try and apply further pressure, remove this rifle. Got plenty of time to do so, but Hank heading all the way across the A site and create a bit of distance between them.
Yeah, this is going to be a case of can Ardis get there quick enough? Let's have a little look. Don't think he can. Yeah, you're going to be seeing BA. Just keep the head down. Try and keep hold of that singular rifle, and bear in mind, this was the best opportunity BiliBili had so far, that full purchase in place. Now, of course, the bonus round going NRG's way, their money is going to boom. They are going to be in the best position possible, And again, if you're looking at these fights, this kind of extended fight here, that dry swing towards kind of the back of Waterfall, we're seeing NRG take confident fights. And they're kind of asserting that dominance. For BiliBili to stand a chance here, they're going to have to quell that pretty soon.
It's a tall order to come out here and obviously open versus NRG, but then be put into recovery mode and constantly playing from behind, playing reactively versus a very aggressive NRG. Victor seemingly let off the leash once again to kick this round off, but won't be greeted on the other side just yet.
You might have noted potentially both players here. Yosemite just drifting out. Easy find for Som there.
My boss.
Rin now was alone for a moment, but again, we may not see the commitment from NRG. See what they decide. They're still above a minute here, and they've got that first blood, so working rather perfectly in their favor. Lockdown for Ardis is ready. Som had that ult from almost the starting round, if you roll your mind back. So again, this has been quite the clean affair, and the late round aggression not going to be fully rewarded here. Rifle drop trades coming in, but again, the biggest issue is that one rifle. Maybe YZ could be the one to make this one work. 3 in front of him, and NRG almost stubborn in approach. Didn't want to really walk away from this.
This will be spotted.
Nice.
YZ will find one, but down to 32 HP. He'll be licking his wounds after that. Crashes in Som elsewhere. We'll find the plant. Any resistance on this. Still got a paranoia to work with. Crashes does have a flashback as well. The other side of things, actually, decent amount of utility for YZ. But HP Park, got to be a concern.
A massive one at that. Maybe could work off Knight here, but again, that paranoia could be invested. But again, just opting to go straight in, maybe try and go a little deeper. Smoke towards the spike, swing goes in. Some light work towards Knight. They're not going to be too fussed. YZ does have to try and work out that utility, though. There's still a couple of issues in this. He's dealt with NRG. Consolidating another. This is looking a little bit like a bloodbath, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's no real reason for NRG to deviate from... Yeah, exactly. So they're going to be rewarded opening engagements, and really in the buy round, you're looking for BiliBili to start to mitigate some of that risk and play a little deeper. Not really give players like Victor, or, I mean, you could say Crashies and Som as well in that regard. Yeah. Som's 10-0, by the way.
I saw them considering an operator for a second there. Didn't end up going for it. I think it was YZ. Oh,
but
told a lie. There you go. Back to it. This time, Finesse can be forced a little bit further away with the paranoia, but he already noted that presence in that last round, so maybe a consideration going forward. The BiliBili do want to be exploring those sort of options, but again, as you said, why deviate from the plan? They still have so many tools in the kit for NRG, and an unfortunate miss there. That's going to sting.
And once he falls, he loses the paint shell, no ability to shut this lockdown down himself. Actually, Victor could have fallen on the way in, but Detain will come through. NRG still with relatively easy access to site. Give them a chance to find the plant as well.
You can see the player commit towards the side, though. Crashies doesn't want to fall away from this. Som TPing all the way out. And Crashies does actually catch one. Oh, Crashies! Destroying him on the way back in. NRG, very comfortable so far, Mike. I haven't really seen them pose much of a threat yet from BiliBili.
Sure, and talking about here, no ability to really get the finances rolling and get themselves into a position where they can execute any sort of plays or strats that they have built up for this defensive side of Lotus. It's looking very one-sided now for NRG. BiliBili actually going to call a timeout here. And a tough discussion to have when you're trailing by 5 so early on.
Yeah.
On your own map pick nonetheless.
Yeah, and the thing is, when we're looking at this, when we're looking at teams who, when we're talking about maybe don't have that experience yet, that we're looking at the kind of spacing, the trading, the kind of utility work, some of the more minutiae pieces to it, which we're seeing issues with here.
I see, but you see an NRG tap even heavier into that.
Of
play that to their advantage. Not really having to work the map too much. Like I said, they're being given opening engagements and they're winning out time and time again.
Yeah, and I thought maybe that operator could be a nice factor to maybe do a little bit of early work, get a favorable start to one of these rounds, but Ardis, well, we saw what happened to that operator. Gets dropped to the floor, and it was game on from that point. So I don't know what the plan can be for BiliBili. I don't know how they can fix some of these core issues when you're meeting an opponent like NRG this early on. It's a really tough task.
And the other thing, just to come back to the point from the interview, what do you really learn from a loss like this as well? When you're not having a chance to execute any of your game plans.
No, it's a tough one for them. And look at the purchase, going for what they can. A couple of ults though, and very close by to a couple others. You've got Bianx very nearby, Rin as well, very close to the lockdown. Showstopper one away for Victor, however. And we've seen it before, we'll see it again. Rinse and repeat. BiliBili though going to get aggressive this time. Try to switch things up.
Forced them away from the space early on. NRG didn't fancy committing to that engagement. Finesse going to be played in on the other side of the map though. Yosemite will fall. Creating an opening here. There's a bit of a gap in terms of the rotation timing here. Seeker's going to make things even worse for BiliBili.
Yeah, it paints such a very precise picture of how far back that defending side
Plays
is.
Ardis in as well. Look at this. Oh, hang on. Wow. I thought it played Ardis in.
Yeah, I thought he'd be cleaner with that, but Knight going to be able to pick up the frag. Now, in the meantime, though, they have got the spike down, so 4v4 timing there for Som. Just going to miss that little bit of a window. That's a little bit of a look back, but again, that smoke will be dissipating at some point. When does he take a peek? There it is. Spots out the player, the timing! Punished! This could be the first! This could be huge! Victor and Crashies in a 2v3. IZ just wants to get on the side, now it's all on Crashies, he's fallen! BiliBili finally drawing some blood.
You find a response here. A couple of very quick decisions made as well. The isolation of Som, Ardis as well inside B site. Beautiful kill from Knight. Make this one doable. Get themselves on the board at least. Light investment here as well. I'm not sure how many rifles we actually did see come through, but on the back of the pit being available for Yosemite. See how far they can carry this now. No ultimates left here, Finesse being the closest to the pit, 3 orbs away, but BiliBili on the other hand, plenty of tools at their disposal.
This could be a huge swing point for BiliBili. If they're able to keep this up, this could be the gateway, right? This could be that last round just gone could be everything to them. And again, it started with that aggression. It started with them taking over that mound control. However, for now, you can already see the adjustment from NRG. Looking at other options across the map, but so far matched step for step by BiliBili.
Curious here with only one member of BiliBili, Rin, over towards C.
Blinded.
This one way's gone up, yes, but looks as if Ardis is going to head back across and get decent progress back towards the lockdown. Not really going to be able to contest this space on Mound. NRG just looking to maximize value from this before a decision is made. And already seeing a big adjustment after that timeout. Look at this mini-map here. Nobody really taking close contact on the side of BiliBili towards any site. NRG have been given space to work with.
And that default's just somewhat given them that access point towards C now. Resetting these players. Now going to force out the lockdown though. Flash goes in. Looking like they want to commit through this. They got out 6 seconds to try and handle it, and Rim plays forward. Going to fall eventually to Som, but now has to fall away. And caught in the heels, Knight goes forward. This is huge actually. Putting the pressure right back towards NRG. And now FNS and Ardis with their work cut out. 10 seconds to make something happen, and it's looking unlikely. I think they're going to have to pull the plug on this round.
Great response here. You see how desperate Victor is to find the paint shell onto the lockdown and remove that layer of pressure, but NRG have to pull the plug. We'll concede a second here. It'll take a couple more to break the bank of NRG. They follow up with a consecutive round. And Knight actually getting down and dirty in the smoke here. Crashies finds a response, but even here, I don't know if Crashies' initial plan is if we can keep maybe 1 or 2 people up alive and kicking on site, we'll find the plant and concede the fact you're going to be detained in that situation. The responses from NRG maybe to stamp their authority once again on Lotus.
Nice to see that adaptation come out from BiliBili, showing they've got a little bit of depth here, kind of showing they've got that capability to match up on this.
Why is he just chilling at wallbang, taking a sip of his drink? Happy to sponge a little bit of damage. Call's been made though. There's already 4 members of BiliBili over towards A site, Lauren.
Yeah, but Victor's a little bit further ahead of this. Paint shell towards back of site. Plant going to come in. Last time around, we're successful in the retake. This time around, going to have to be tested a little bit further here. Delayed on the plant, but going to make it through. No one working off that initial barrage of utility here, as Victor's going to get away with holding this position a little longer, force forward, but now FNS going to be holding on. Again, struggling to make it down that first drop, but suddenly they draw blood. Crashes falls and it opens up a chance. Som now has too many targets, but he deals with them so well. Snaps back to attention. Stunning from Som.
Follow up that early map ace with a 4K here to secure the post plant. Looking snappy there from Som. BiliBili looking as if they have a real shot at this retake, but
One enemy remaining.
another round that in the blink of an eye, Som flips in NRG's favor.
Just lovely work from him to divide it so comfortably. They were all 1v1s. Every single one of them. There was no trade coming out. There was no instantaneous pressure, no unfair fight for him. And you just can't give him that level of room. Trying to get aggressive, Victor does not want any of it. Knight is there, though, to backfill this, so at least gets the trade out. And he needs to back away from this soon. They're going to be able to clear that well enough, and he has.
First real push out towards rubble we've seen from NRG that feels fairly committed. Will result in a 1-for-1, both Raze players dying. Asking, when are NRG going to be able to stamp their authority back on this map already? Looking to continue or follow through from that 4K from Som. To reset the tone a little bit.
Maybe noting the amount of presence on A from that earlier, more committed push towards rubble. You see Artist considering maybe some presence towards B, but deciding against it in the end. Maybe just trying to be more of a potential threat than an active one. End goal looking like C. We still have Rin here. Kit of utility in the way as well. This is still going to be a tough take with 36 seconds. Do they pivot?
I was going to say, the thing though, they have removed the alarm bot outside B with the nano swarm, so looking to plant the seed of doubt. TP cancelled in towards B. They're going to commit towards C site here, but the nano swarm should absolutely farm here. Rin gets 2.
Rin does, but Knight's the one on the site. Going to hold them back, and with 15 seconds, going to need Artist start walking on water again. He's got the first 10 more seconds now, plenty more targets. Can't get there this time. Bianc does very well. It's BiliBili closing up the score here.
Yeah, good read from BiliBili as well. You can see the rotation coming through to reinforce that C site hold from Rin. But there was a window where he's going to be isolated.
The funny thing, they didn't respond to that fake rotation, right? There was that pivot towards B. They were trying to indicate, put 2 through the door. We saw that TP coming in. No one moved.
Well, almost, it looks really concerning as well, because both times that the alarm bot's been removed on B site, you don't see a response from BiliBili. It's not as if you see a prowler go out somewhere else, a peek out towards rubble, or even confirmation inside B site. So whether or not that is just the reads aligning for them and setting up on C, but they're definitely here to greet NRG, and some of the later rounds not necessarily suiting NRG in that regard.
And that's the curious part here, because NRG, by all accounts, are kind of playing a more standard game, right? You're trying to toy with that, bringing the additional players to the wrong place, kind of trying to play with those rotations and expectations. BiliBili aren't playing the same
They're
sort
not
of game,
biting, no.
which is wild.
Yeah.
So it's like, do NRG then go more simplistic? Is that what it is? You stop pulling the fakes and you commit behind it because no one's responding anyway. I mean, there's options here for NRG, and I'm wondering what out of this timeout they actually go for.
Obviously, after BiliBili's timeout, you see the adjustment playing much deeper. Digging their heels in. Not committing to these opening engagements, which I'm happy to see has continued.
Yeah.
That's where NRG definitely were in control of the start of this half. Initially, 4 players set up outside the B corridor. And there's not going to be any commitment from BiliBili here at the start of the round. Reveal sent up, not dealt with, but we know confirmation behind it. I think now NRG have got a similar read that BiliBili haven't been responding to this alarm bot falling, so Victor's found the opener.
Yeah, it's just that disrespect, right? They've kicked it up a gear. Sometimes going simplistic may work, but have to see if it actually lands in the end, right? Now, with Victor getting loose, that's a problem. Have they got the plant coming in, though? Waiting to see when that's going to fully be contested here. There's the swing. Individual work is not going to help here. Crashies is making light work of this. And once again, there's that gear shift. There's that depth from NRG. I'm expecting simplicity, and you noting them not respecting the challenges on towards B, the challenges on those, the little bit of utility being broken, they made the most of it there.
Yeah, they pounce on that very factor. Being as well, I even said, it doesn't feel like the later rounds, the slower rounds really suiting NRG. This one just completely blindsides BiliBili. No chance to even really probe on either extremity, and that's where you can really, I don't say place blame, but maybe fault these deeper defensive positions. No, they were losing out engagements early on. Hang on. Actually, commitment here for the TP from, all right, YZ here to offer some support as well. But no harm, no foul.
So now what do NRG do, right? This is like that problem that's in front of them. That how do they try and navigate out of this, right? So they did something quite simplistic off the back of just that alarm bot, really. But you can't do that every round. And hold on, look at the pace change here. Flies in, finds nothing. They're already looking towards B again. I think they found a little bit of maybe an approach that's going to work. And Som exploiting it. Finesse is there. And yeah, simple is working. And it's obviously well executed. It's well done still, but there's none of that depth. They're not trying to pull rotations. They're just trying to win the fight, but there's a problem here. Som now overwhelmed. That late round push back in works perfectly for BiliBili. Maybe getting too comfortable here. NRG getting pressured but crashes. The position not good enough this time. Bianc fully aware of it, leaving Finesse in a 1v2.
He's going to challenge the lockdown. When's going to find the headshot, Lauren? Good question, maybe the overinvestment, but BiliBili will find their fourth here on the road to recovery in terms of this half. Yosemite forced out. I mean, it feels like BiliBili are half committing towards these deeper positions, because one thing you don't want to see is somebody swinging ahead of the wall and getting isolated just by a paint shell. One thing I will say, Finesse's Viper Wall cutting off in towards B, causing some real issues for BiliBili. Whether or not the commitment here needs to be just towards a retake setup, I'm not entirely sure, but
we're back to B. This time around, though, the ult's going to come out. You're going to see somebody invest this, and they've respected it enough, but the push-out from Rin is quite precarious. Could get pincered here, could be in trouble.
Victor's made it all the way around the backside. He's going to be able to flank this rubble setup here. Finally pins down the kill. Pops the showstopper.
Is the door broken? Yep. Oh, that could have been scary. Close enough by on the other side, and Artist waiting patiently in towards B. They've divided them so well. They've manipulated this map. They've herded them into that B site.
The pit's going to drop, though. YZ giving one away. They've relinquished all of this control on B side, but
big play in for him, and he actually can't handle it. The wide swing from Rin, so valuable. It's a 3v3. They're not out of the woods at all. Yeah. Oh, what a shot from Bianc. What a player, actually. Really picking up some key kills here in these later rounds. Som has to evacuate the site. Still going to get hit by the ult, and the timing for Victor there. Just a window away. Spots so many players, though. Som now, he's going to be screwed. Bianc is just bulldozing through the site, leaving Victor, in an unwinnable scenario. BiliBili on these retakes, showing some real potential.
It's all about it being the road to recovery. 7-5, you've got to be feeling really good about that as BiliBili.
Absolutely.
Switching sides.
Getting absolutely shut down in the first few rounds of this half. They're showing real resilience here, Lauren.
Yeah, thoroughly impressed with some of those retakes coming in from BiliBili. I didn't love the early rounds, but the late rounds, those kind of post-plant workbacks were beautifully crafted. However, that's not for us to discuss. Let's find out what the desk thinks.
Thank you so much, guys, and it's time, of course, for our Verizon high-speed moment. Let's go ahead and dive into this one here. It was really early on. You already know what's happening. It's for our Verizon high-speed moment of that match, or of that half, rather, with that ace that he managed to pull off. But it gives us an opportunity here to talk about Som, maybe because this young man has been exquisite for this team. This obviously is a different instance. Players rolling out on mound, just getting dominated by my favorite gun, the Bulldog. But it does show us, at the very least, that Som is just like a patient player and has been just, this half was great for him, regardless of the fact it was 7-5.
It already seems like Sam is maintaining his consistency at these global events. He's been a top player at every single one that he has attended thus far, so no surprises to see him showing up here. But I was surprised by how well that half ended up for BLG, despite the fact that players like Sam were playing so well. I think at the end there, they adapted really well and were showing us some great retakes in particular, Psycho.
They sure did. I mean, it took them a little bit to get the read on exactly what FNS was trying to do with their attacking side. I don't think they're used to playing against a team that plays so slow, and once they slowed it down a little bit and committed to actually playing for the retake, the retakes actually look pretty clean. The spacing on the entries into the site, the trades went in their favor, and they managed to scrape out a couple rounds. I mean, 5 rounds on defense side Lotus, looking great.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want, honestly, on that defensive side. And I think we did see the issues with BLG early on. I think some of the pressure getting to them with NRG showing on one side of the map and a player contacting up the other and getting instantly punished. But they did clean that up. In the second half now, I think this is where NRG thrives. Sure, it is a attack-sided map generally, but NRG with this Sky comp are really good at toying with the rotations. Always watch where Crashies and Victor are on this map and if they can get ahead of the BLG rotations.
Well, let's see how this all pans out. We're going to send it right back over to Pansy and Hypoc for the second half.
All right, we've got a bit of a game on our hands now. 7-5, I don't want to get too early into this, Mike. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet, but this scoreline is something certainly to note, right? It felt like NRG couldn't quite get a beat on what BiliBili were doing sometimes. Very uncharacteristic of a traditional opponent. However, on the side switch, can they keep it up?
And on the side switch, well, hold that thought for a minute. This might be given an opportunity to clean up here. Som, does he go unchecked? Actually, not going to punish on the first. We'll find the response. That's 17 HP finally dealt with.
But they're ahead of that paint shell, but they're not ahead of the frenzy. Now Victor with it all to do. This could be BiliBili off to the perfect start in the second half. A little bit of chip damage and then some. Hold on.
Perfectly timed paint shell from Victor.
This could be huge though, because he's got that readjust as well towards short. They still may think he's up towards that top side towards CT.
And they smoke off up towards heaven, so.
And he's got the spike. Just so close by. Gonna force BiliBili to try and play this out well, but it is Victor. And they're starting to step in. When does he move? He hasn't seen them yet. They're
Victor's,
on the
he
site.
missed the cross.
Spike now picked up. He's going looking. He's starting to consider. Has he noted the
The
spike?
penny's dropped.
Here he's seen a pixel though, and he's found one. Now can he find the follow-up? Keeping his boombot till late game. Does he play patiently? We know where they are. He doesn't. And already on the move. Victor's on the hunt. Prowling behind him. 56 HP on Knight. Leaving a trail of blood towards that C site as Victor closing on in 3 bullets to play with in the mag, and that's all he's opting for. Not hitting that reload as he's closing the gap. Trying to stay unnoted, uncontested, and with the final bullet, he finds it. Saving NRG from an uphill struggle on the second half.
Great recovery from Victor to close this one out. You're almost getting a little concerned there when he misses the cross. An opportunity for Knight and Yosemite to slip into the night with that spike. The Red Bull clutch from Victor to kick off the second half here.
But that
A
was
sigh of relief
yeah,
from
risky.
NRG, yeah.
But looking at those early fights, Mike, when we looked at Som's position, they're trying to take these very one-for-one fights, almost kind of ego fights, but they're not winning them as cleanly as I thought. So do they need to adjust now? Do they need to fall back a little bit? Where's the balance to this? Because I feel like you can't play a super passive game against BiliBili, but I feel like there is a balance to be struck.
Actually seeing some light shields invested on the side of BiliBili.
Oh,
Just a sheriff in the hands of Yosemite.
right.
We'll see if they, if they can catch one of these upgrades. NLG have as close to full invested outside of the Stinger and maybe the Spectre.
It's tough, though. How are you going to find a player out of place here, right? Oh, it's not there. Oh, FNS with the freebie. Catching a 2-for-1 on that. Didn't even mean it. Even a bit of chip damage it looked like as well.
We're going to flood in. Artist will find the first ring will fall. Again, the smoke just causing problems for BiliBili. No safety on the way in. And a Prime Gaming flawless hit to follow up the second. Really boost the finances of NRG early on. But coming into the second half, we're talking about BiliBili not really having the opportunity to execute some set pieces and really explore the playbook too deeply. Here on the attacking side, scoreline aside, I think we do see we have a chance to see exactly what BiliBili want to bring to the global stage.
That's what I'm hoping for, right? It's that ideal that they can kind of determine the pace a little more. Because I think they've got NRG to respect them to an extent, Mike. Like, to an extent. We're still seeing some ego checks here.
Checks.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling right
Respect, yes, but I would say maybe more humbled.
But we're not seeing over-aggression.
No.
We aren't seeing NRG running hyper-aggressive on the defending side. So this should allow BiliBili that chance to actually...
Actually,
these plans.
halfway through the first half, we did see that adjustment from NRG where they were getting away with very fast and loose rounds where they were being rewarded time and time again in terms of the opening engagements.
Yeah.
Then BiliBili slowed things down. A few times NRG actually let the clock run very dry in terms of options. So you could definitely argue they've been forced to maybe respect what BiliBili bring to the table today. And now, very small margin for them in the second half. BiliBili need to get a round on the board here, especially after a Prime Gaming flawless in round 14, to maybe reset the economy a little bit and give themselves a steady footing.
All right, eyes on the prize then. Let's see what BiliBili can do. They've got the buy in hand here. No big ults yet in pocket, but just off the back of that timeout, they've been told what the approach is. And it looks like a, oh dear, Knights! It's a crunch. So much utility put towards that backside of the wall. There was no way out for him, really.
A freebie as well. On the back of utility alone. Testing BiliBili's recovery factor once again here in a 4v5 in their first buy round of this half. We drifted away from this yet. Trailblazer going to confirm presence behind this as well, probably spotting
2 or 3.
Yeah, maybe even 4.
Yeah, it could be.
To be honest, with how Yosemite was positioned behind that stack. You'd argue that probably is the case with Som now, considering filling some of the space in towards B side. Another confirmation from Crashies. And still got another flash in the back pocket as well.
Still haven't gotten rid of the alarm bot, right? So it's like there's that safety.
We're at 45 seconds here, Lauren.
Exactly. So if it is going to be a B split, that alarm bot's in place, the door gets broken. So again, going to draw in the additional player of FNS. He can focus towards short, but does get tagged from main, so he's going to know that this is going to be that B piece coming in. But still, lots of utility in the pocket from NRG to play with. Some with the full kit ready. And oh wait, they are. They're looking like they want to try and take over a little bit of space here, but it's a risky fight to have with a Bulldog bite. Som takes down Rin, trading back Biank's work, and now down to the last 2. Biank's been a bit nasty, but they're going to need more than that this time. That's stunning, though. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. And now Crashies in a tough situation. Hard lines of sight to break. Trying to draw the player in. Pushes forward himself, catches one, turns on the dime, spots him, but time running low. Desperately trying to grab that rifle. Biank on the swing! Heroics from BiliBili.
There's your recovery. In a 4v5, no less. BiliBili able to flip a B-side post plant here. Fight tooth and nail, giving everything to convert that one. NRG just unable to respond to that aggression. I mean, C-Link, initially, it looks like Som's really stood up to the challenge. Was it Ardis that fell initially?
Actually, my brain is rubbish. Why are you asking me these things? You're the analyst.
But no less, yeah, BiliBili convert the round. We'll leave it at that.
And by all other standards, we kind of call that a costly round, right? We'd be a little bit harsher on it, but for an international debut, we'll give you a little bit of leeway on that. Considering, for me so far, Biank's really been quite the standout. How are you feeling about these individuals we're seeing coming out from BiliBili?
Look here for, like I said, once we get into a couple more rounds here in the second half, some of these players from BiliBili potentially going to be able to stretch their legs a little bit. We did see confidence boosters in the first half as well. Some got to be careful on the backside of that door, but Victor's found one with the paint shell once again. A ton of damage done onto BiliBili.
Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble here. Scattering a little bit. Look at the bailout from Biank, finding 2. Keeping them in this round as FNS backfills this, though. Should have probably claimed the second, doesn't. Rin's got it and brings it back to a very winnable scenario for them. A 3v2, favorable numbers. As Ardis and Som have to navigate back on the site. Did he go the barrel?
Ardis spotted it for sure.
Might have done. Didn't spot Knight, though, and handling them both. BiliBili taking apart NRG here.
Bring it within 2. We're just about at the brink now of resetting the economy. Actually, we do here. It's just going to be Sheriffs and maybe some SMGs coming through from NRG. So BiliBili have done the hard work after conceding the first 2 rounds in this.
I asked you about the individuals. You could have said Bianc nice and easily on MVP. It wasn't the player I was expecting to be looking at. I know a lot of people were looking towards YZ and kind of looking towards these sort of players, but hey, when it comes to LAN, Bianc's looked real good. Now, breaking the money, Mike, as you highlighted, this should be an 8th for BiliBili. Knight on watch duty.
Definitely looking to play damage control here for sure. Maintain this financial position because there's a couple. Oh, hang on. Yosemite struggling to pin down the first crashes and found one with a stinger.
Yeah, but Knight's on the case. Cleans up all 3. And the C site is open. Maybe a little overzealous on the ult, but why not? Should get you some free space here, but still. As it stands, this is huge. This is going to be the 8th there. Probably quite clean as well, unless Som or Artist can do some big damage, which is tricky. But just those Sheriffs. Paranoia, yes. Some Nano Swarm, sure, but not much to really facilitate their ability to close the gap here. What can Som get out of this? Has to clear close, will do. No one there. Deep post plants. Smoke back up in 2. This.
Trying to get a cheeky defuse up on the banister here. This is going to be Som to attempt it. So we'll throw the crosshair placement off, but the pain shell going to force him there. Knight actually finding an ace of his own, Lauren, to give BiliBili their 8th round.
Here we go.
A little bit of sweat on the brow
like,
of NRG.
Guys, what's going on?
What's this?
Guys, come on now. But this is huge, right? This is actually... Oh, man, what
Well, to come back to the same discussion, talking about being forced to respect BiliBili here and potentially arguing, yes, they've been humbled. This time it is actually an indicator of that. Chet desperately wanted to get a grip back on this game because first 4 or 5 rounds of this was very one-sided. We saw the adjustment from BiliBili, able to close out, I guess, a successful first half in terms of the initial scoreline.
Yep.
We're talking about once that confidence builds, a few players for BiliBili able to stretch their legs a little bit, and we're certainly seeing that now, Lauren.
I'm pleasantly surprised. It feels a bit weird, right, when you watch it, right? Like, it's not the traditional game we've been seeing, but BiliBili are making it work. It's actually kind of nice to see NRG pushed in ways that we didn't really expect. Now, do we question the depth of NRG? Not really, no. We know that they have abilities to pivot. They have depth to this team. They have adjustments. Again, when you've played at internationals, you know, you're one of the more favored teams coming out of a regional league, you get a couple of caveats with your name of, okay, we know for timeout they have a couple of nice set pieces to lean back on, or maybe some good adjustments. We don't know that about BiliBili, but they're not the ones adjusting right now. Knocking on the door at 8-9, NRG pumped the brakes and they wanted to change something up.
Was key speaking to Som earlier, he talked about we treat every team the same. Don't necessarily look down on anybody and give everybody the respect they deserve. Certainly here now. You have to go back to basics. A little bit of proactivity to kick things off here. Perfect paranoia. Victor will find Knight, the hero of the previous, and elsewhere, Artist will find Rin. He's doubled down, Bianc's fallen.
Okay, YZ and Yosemite, this isn't comfy anymore. You're in spawn. You're banking on Yosemite's work, right? Giving away a little bit of the position, that's fine, but you got to hope that Yosemite is telling him, get moving, man. I need you on the site here. He was a mile away.
In fact, I didn't actually know if Yosemite had retrieved this orb on the right. Didn't see it on YZ's cam either, but would have been a chance here to get the plant for the pit. Committing to this engagement. You're right, needed it.
Had to be clean, had to be easy for them, wasn't to be at all. YZ, this is a lot to ask. A 1v4. It's going to need mistakes from NRG, which I feel like after a telling off by Chet, you're probably not going to be making. Let's see what they can do here. YZ, you might have a fair fight on the first. Oh, hold on! More than a fair fight. Paint shell back on, turns away. FNS just finding the timing, but almost.
The pressure got to him a little bit there. Tried to throw the paint shell out, secure that side and clear the other.
Got real close though.
A tall order for a 1v4, but that's the way to put your name up here on the global stage. NRG a successful round after the timeout. They said probably after a telling off from Chet as well. But comfortable in the purchase for BiliBili. That string of rounds, 3 consecutively. Actually, even here, looking at their ult cycle, looking very healthy if they can find another round. Bring this within 1 round once again.
Yeah.
They're on the brink of some very big ultimates.
Wonder if they've got the longevity, though, to go toe-to-toe with NRG. FNS opting to invest that Viper's Pit towards the C site. Gives himself a little bit more safety, but you can still see there's a fair amount of intent here. Bianc sticking around long enough that at least wants to get the orb, so 2 away now from that Nightfall coming online. Beyond that, though, BiliBili taking their time on the map here. It's looking like ult work, right? As you said, they were very close by to having that big snowball round. Now they're even closer.
Potential even here if they can fight for the rubble orb with 4 people drifting this way. Chance to maybe get the lockdown or the Viper's Pit available. Is Rin actually waiting to try and backstab Ardis here on B site?
I quite like the idea of it, but they still need to kind of further that pressure, right? You've got to really add that question mark of doubt to Ardis' mind, but the pressure coming through connector side, this is a problem for Ardis. Unfortunately, him very calm under pressure, but he's got a lot of players coming his way. Finally falls back, respects it. The paranoia will record him, so right choice made, and just spams through the smoke. Finds Knight perfectly, dips out before taking full damage, and there's lockdown. But how far do they chase on this? They do chase it. Why is he chased that far? Someone's waiting for Rin to go exploring, but still there's danger here. They have to respect this lockdown now. They have to move away.
And that's actually an opportunity to punish the back line here. Crashies will find Yosemite, stuck behind their snake bite now. Finesse will continue to apply pressure. Bianc has to give this one up, Lauren.
That was lovely. The way NRG approached that on the way back through, catching some of these players in those deeper post plants, that was the kind of expectation I have for someone like NRG here. BiliBili didn't seem quite ready for that.
Another begins.
Another example of NRG looking a bit more coordinated, a bit more calm, more collected in terms of the approach. Ardis getting a freebie through the smoke to start things off definitely makes it easy. When we saw just how much trouble he was in, how much pressure was coming his way. See, straight away, as soon as Rin's Nano Swarm is spotted, Ardis concedes the space, but in that scenario, still to come away with 1 kill. The big win for NRG. BiliBili might find some space here on Rubble, Lauren.
Yeah, because it was a triple stack from NRG over towards the C site, so actually, they can get real close here, and they've got Bianc 1 off from the ult, you got YZ 1 away from the ult. The rest have it on YZ, just going to invest theirs for this one, to pick up that ult orb. And it looks like he's in evacuation site, but look how close NRG are. It's a 5v5 purely on the A site here. This is going to be very chaotic, as YZ wants to take that space, secure it, ensure it, and make sure they have to leave the site fully. That could be huge. Oh, Sis! Oh! I thought it could have been so much more, but it's Knight to follow up towards Victor, and now down to 3. NRG are in trouble. Nightfall did not catch. Som gets a second lease of life, but now revealed. Position noted. How much more can they do? The close flash finds no one, so they can step forward. The lockdown as well to boot, but Som connects perfectly on the form too! Straight through the smoke! But he wants that lockdown gone. He's going for that, and he's done it. Now leaving Bianc and Yosemite in such a tough situation. Ardis trying to clear on through. Does he spot them out first? Yes! Great find. Now just Bianc. Drop of the pit. Bianc still going to deliver. Oh my God! What a moment! Bianc rips him apart.
A beautiful conversion from Bianc. Som finding 2 crucial kills to come forward, pressuring the lockdown.
That's a superstar in the making. If Bianc can keep this up across more maps, across another series, what a player.
A beautiful Red Bull clutch to keep BiliBili in the game here on map 1. Finesse left scratching his head about it.
That was all the ults though, Mike. They put everything into that.
Yeah, NRG, couple of orbs away here and there, and actually going to see a brawl here. Victor,
where'd he go?
Lined it up.
Where'd he go?
He's found the backstab.
Knight just somehow evaded all that vision, and look at the pace change here from BiliBili. You want aggressive? We'll give you aggressive. Crash is the only one to slow it down, but by now... Wait, hold on, Bianc's got the spike. Oh, but he's got the kill! It doesn't matter. Bianc's on fire, and Ardis is all alone.
A phantom moment leaves him on 10 HP, but BiliBili will capitalize. They'll find the plant. See the pings on the minimap. They know exactly where Ardis is. And the money as close to reset here on the side of NRG. I mean, Victor's going to have 2250, 850 for Som, but not looking pretty elsewhere.
NRG, the crazy thing is NRG are at currently what? It's going to be probably what, 10 to 11. They're still ahead, but my God, it doesn't feel like it. It
Certainly
really
not in the second
doesn't
half.
feel
I
like
mean,
it.
you take away that 5-0 lead to start things off.
Sure.
And that was even saying BiliBili recovered into a 7-5 half. Been very impressed with their ability to really, I mean, bring the game to NRG, set the pace in a number of these rounds, and go toe-to-toe with them. Early on, they were losing out in the scrappy engagements time and time again. But I'll come back to the same thing I said earlier. We're seeing BiliBili now in the second half, a chance at the double TP.
Look at him.
I mean, Victor, through no fault of his own, is lost in the source.
Yes,
he's vulnerable, he's flashed up.
What's going on? Wait, they've broken the money, I think, as well.
Yeah, no, they have.
Oh, my word. This is actually huge. This could be the first big upset. I think we've seen a couple of, like, 60-40 games maybe go the 40 way, or it depends how you look at them. This could be genuinely an upset. I'm not going to say too much yet, because it's only map 1, right? Like, and NRG are still in the lead.
I'm saying nothing.
I'm just saying this could be the first real upset. At least on a map. I'll curtail it there, that's it. As it stands, aggression, an artist rewarded. Takes down Rin, but the trade comes in. Crashies expected, yes. But, oh, Punish Bianc is just a monster at this game. That Prowler should catch, it does, yeah, indeed. Victor needs to fall away from this. That Sheriff's not going to find what he wants. Nightfall as well to boot, that's a lot invested. Finesse trying to match this rotation, noting no one on the drop of that wall.
BiliBili going to get ahead of this though. Capitalize, find themselves a plant on C site.
Any
set
weapon
themselves up. I mean, it's only Sheriffs on the side of NRG. One now recovered in hand of Victor.
Oh, if they get another kill, it's game on, right? Like, then that retake's got a little bit of leg to it. So I'm holding onto that paranoia, waiting maybe until Victor gets a little closer by. And do they even consider it? Maybe that question mark does start to arise soon. Another pixel spotted, both players now seen, but they don't know the third. Som sends a paranoia and Victor starts working. That's the moment to strike. Pops the ult. He needs to get this, and he does. Oh! Forces Yosemite away! And now so low, though. Yosemite's still standing, still sitting pretty. Just waiting on that classic. They're so low. He's got a 1v1 to win. Victor, desperate to try and hunt him down. He can't get there in time!
Oh my God. Yosemite with the Red Bull clutch to tie things up here on Lotus. NRG desperate to pin him down.
Well,
There's no timeouts left, Lauren. They can't take a breather. BiliBili have got them up against the ropes here.
Can't fault Victor in this one, man.
Oh, no.
He tried. He tried so
Beautiful
damn hard.
paranoia to set things in motion as well. Now the confidence starting to build for BiliBili. You can see that pack mentality coming into effect. Victor actually bringing an operator out.
Okay.
To say, does he get aggressive here? He's actually posting up on a very early angle, but BiliBili with another very good read, anticipating some aggression.
I guess we saw a touch of it from Ardis. So maybe that's just enough that you're like, let's be a little cautious. But if they clear lazily, if they don't invest utility, if they don't go through a protocol list, this new look, this little adjustment could be devastating. They don't like it. There's something. They've got a feeling there's something weird about this, and they don't fancy it.
Cover going out.
Smoke sent in. Here. Crashies. How much does he get for this? Sees nothing really. God, gear shift at this point from BiliBili.
Big adjustment as well, because BiliBili have been drifting towards A side late on. Now with Ardis' setup here.
Oh dear. Deep breaths, folks.
The stars are going to align once again. Is Knight going to get behind the operator?
Wait, look
right
where
in
he's
front of
TPing.
it.
Still going to find value though, Victor. Perfect working to find Bianc. That's a big scalp to claim.
The hero recently
Absolutely.
in the last few rounds for BiliBili.
Time to pivot. They're trying to go quickly, but the Seekers will give away the full game here. Crashies is going to note this lovely mid-round fact finder there. Crashies forced forward on 20 HP, and YZ going to punish. The spray not good enough. YZ on the follow-up, and the site's now theirs. 13 seconds for the plant, but it's more than enough. No one to challenge, no one to deny. And now down to 3, that operator not looking so comfortable in the hand. Maybe it is. Maybe I lied. Victor going to find YZ. You can see who's being played in here. Yosemite waiting. Artist checking, still gonna get the look, still gets the tag down to 31, deleted. And it's all on Knight in a 1v3, spots 2, it ain't enough. Artist keeps NRG alive.
By the skin of their teeth. BiliBili catching a beautiful time. I mean, nothing connects on the paranoia here. It's a snake bite and a paint shell to really open up B site.
Match point.
Operator finding a crucial kill on the way back through onto YZ, who's the one to open up this site. That's the angle. And Ardis, I mean, this is phenomenal work from him. The fadeaway on the second, already the damage done on that first peak.
Beautiful. Okay. It's been a close enough run that we're on Bulldogs here for BiliBili. That's not a pretty pie.
One off the showstopper for YZ, so we can find a kill early on. He could be the catalyst. I mean, a Guardian in hand on the other side for Crashy, sure, an operator for Victor, but
yeah,
certainly inventory-wise, overall, NRG with the advantage, so. And they have a lockdown. Doesn't need the kill. YZ's actually found the orb. He's the key player now for BiliBili in round 24 to force an overtime versus NRG. I didn't think we'd be saying that today.
Absolutely not, but happy to be here. This has turned into a bit of a heater now. Going late back towards C. We can all see it. 3 players for NRG are here. Paint shop. Why is he going to send it? First look, Som going to send the paranoia, and it's a connection from YZ. Som goes down, but there's still 2 more players. Crashy's on the floor. YZ the one to follow up. And now Finesse, can he hold the line? Can he hold them back? Soaks the damage, takes down 2. Buys him a couple of seconds and a chance, and it might be gone. Oh, it's all on Artis. The man is incredible, sometimes second to none, but still, this is no easy task. 3 players are locked down and pushes forward. They've got him to OT. Unthinkable scenes here, Mike. We did not expect this to be happening.
And BiliBili already celebrating on stage as if they've done the hard work.
Yeah.
They've taken NRG to an overtime in map 1. Was their map pick? Yes, but certainly in terms of expectations, BiliBili exceeding on all fronts.
This is their international debut. Let's put that in context here. BiliBili pumping the brakes and probably need to get these boys right in that mental place, right? If you're a coach, you've got to get them back focused in on the server, because this is probably, again, highlight of career so far already. Let's, you know, for what it is. An international debut, you're not used to this. You might be jet lagged, different stage, different setup. Your opponent's right in front of you. And not only any opponent, you got NRG. I mean, a deep run team by all accounts. Do you think you'll listen?
No. No.
But this is monumental for BiliBili. And a wake-up call for NRG. Sure, we know that probably long run, you run this game back 10 times, they'll win it more often than not. But still, for what it's worth right now, in this matchup, it's OT.
I want to come back to the mental game aspect of this, though, because like I said, you could see the step change for BiliBili. Once they won a couple of key rounds, a couple of frag-heavy rounds where they're winning out gunfights and, you know, really taking control of NRG. On the other side of things, we've seen NRG sweating in a couple of late-round situations where, you know, backs against the wall, somebody needs to deliver a clutch, and I don't know, just how sustainable is that?
It's
with a completely unknown entity on the other side of things. Sure, Som says they treat everybody the same.
Well,
we don't treat any teams differently. Here now versus BiliBili, you got to argue their expectations were very different coming into this matchup.
100%. 100%. So, I think we're all in the same boat here, just wondering where this goes. Will this be the upset, or will it go back onto trend and be that one blip on the radar that we kind of go, that's a weird map, but let's find out. 12-12, it's OT here between BiliBili and NRG. NRG kicking things back off on the attacking side here. It started off beautifully, absolutely dominating BiliBili in regulation. However, the adjustment came in.
A slow creep, from NRG towards this orb outside A. BiliBili already with a decent read, though. 3 members behind this. Victor, no secrets about it on the way in.
Careful.
Created a lot of space here.
They're so close by to this, though. Pain shell. Not going to do as much as they would have wanted here. Paranoia does get sent. 4 on the site. Artist slightly disconnected. Boombot goes in. Paranoia not going to connect on that front line, so that's going to be easy work for Som. But look at the back line falling. Oh my word, BiliBili! Eviscerating 3, bringing it back down to a 3v2, making it a 3v1. Crashies last alive, locked out from the spike. You can't really deny this
You
now.
can't swing on this.
Look at it. There's a firing squad on the other side, and Crashies desperately tries and fails. 13 to BiliBili, finally taking the lead in OT.
Switching sides. Match point. Make them big.
NRG going to capitalize on getting a reset on the timeouts here, but this is fairly unprecedented. Bianc with 2 huge kills once again. And ultimately, it's the head count here that pays off for BiliBili. And what a stark contrast on stage here.
Oh, yeah.
You see they are fired up right now. And I gotta say, it poised to close out map 1, it feels like.
Yep, yeah, coming in like this, picking up that first round in OT, I mean, that's gonna just set them sky high, right? Because that was the half I was a little bit more worried about at times as well. They were, you know, a little bit here and there on that, but what did NRG do? Oh, I'd hate to be in the comms on this timeout. I'd love to hear it, but I also hate to be on the receiving end of it. Like, you have such a tough predicament in front of you. You've got a team of an unknown quantity with absolute sheer confidence in front of you, and you've got to somehow deal with that as they've finally taken the lead on that point.
See what the approach is here for NRG. It seemed fairly tempered on the defense, at least once BiliBili were able to start executing some of their set pieces. We are going to see that later Killjoy setup, Artis over towards A site instead. Well, we see a similar attempt towards Mound. Let's take some space outside B. We see NRG toying with that idea a couple of times. Well, BiliBili actually going to step the pace up once again.
Maybe. Yeah, this is an interesting adjustment.
There's a variation, a slower variation in their default, at least in the early round here, anticipating some aggression.
Well, that did feel like that was the, I guess, answer that NRG looked for. We saw that kind of aggression coming out, especially from Artis in middle. We saw, who was it? Victor rewarded on the C side of the map as well with that operator at some point. So not too surprising to see that be at least a worry in BiliBili's mind. So playing a little bit more meticulously, a little bit slower.
Find you.
This is the first real look at side of work. About a 1 minute marker. Turret gets dealt with in middle, but no response off the back.
Third being, look at the minimap. NRG feel as if they've got the read towards BiliBili's setup, and with the Yosemite and YZ positioned here quite late, they might be able to confirm or at least sell this fake.
Is it a double? It's
a double pump. They're thinking, they're banking on somebody seeing these smokes on C site, but there's nobody there from NRG.
They didn't know how well they'd done.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
Two are running, two are going C, right now. FNS and I think Artis are just, no. They're coming back, it was Victor who's going. Oh, okay, this is going to be ridiculous. And now 25 seconds of 5v5 on the side. YZ goes down, Artis holds the line but gets traded. Victor with a paint shell comes in, Som wants it on the action. Yosemite does get the trade out. Again, this is ridiculous, down to 2, making it 2. Oh, Bianc! As if he's the one standing doing this. NRG stunned out of the server. BiliBili claiming map 1.
I mean, you talk about coming here to Champions to learn something from your opponents, and you put up that performance on map 1. Their map pick, sure, but a statement made here by BiliBili in the opening map of this series, who, by the way, they got absolutely dominated in terms of the first